What is up, everyone? We are here with another watched and added video. Starting off here with the Superman 4 film favorites. I got this in a mystery box. I hadn't watched these since I was a kid. So I was kind of excited to get these. I don't own these. I remember they were super cheesy and, I wasn't expecting much out of them. But I was like, oh, hey, it's 4 movies I don't own. And the discs were in great condition and they all played great. I'm not a huge fan of these 4 packs as far as just being in one case. I would prefer to have each case individually. That's just me though. But as far as the movies go, the first Superman movie made by Richard Donner was great. It was a grand scale type of movie for its time. Visual effects were pretty cutting edge for their time. So not really a lot of bad things to say about the first Superman movie, except for that, he never really felt in real danger with what was going on, which kind of, especially with a superhero like Superman, who's like indestructible. If there's no sense of danger, it's kind of boring. Superman 2, on the other hand, was great as far as, him feeling like he could actually lose facing Zod and the other two. I heard there's obviously controversy, Richard Donner getting fired, bringing in Richard Lester. But I still enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it more than I liked the first one. Now the third one, on the other hand, was another Richard Lester one, but you could tell that it had no seriousness of the Richard Donner ones. It was more of a comedy movie in a way. Superman being clumsy when he's Clark Kent to try to hide his identity and stupid weird stuff like that. So Superman 3 was horrible. I absolutely hated it. I could see why they didn't bring him back to direct the fourth one. And the fourth one had kind of like a bad rap from what I read online. They were saying a lot of production issues, like they slashed the budget, used clips from older movies. They had to cut a lot out of the movie, so there was plot holes. I didn't see the plot holes personally. I mean, it was a lot shorter than the other 3 movies, but I actually liked it. It would probably be my second favorite Superman movie out of all 4 of these, because I loved the pacing, and I liked the villain. Was it Adam Man, I believe it was. Comment down below if you know the name of I forgot the name of the villain on the movie. Damn. But still, I enjoyed it. The action was good. I don't know. Sometimes a movie doesn't need to be 2.5 hours long, especially if you don't have the budget for it. It's better for it to be smaller and still keep the production values. So, I mean, Superman 4, as far as on-screen 2, looked better as far as production values go. But obviously there was a lot of years between the first one and the fourth one to make that happen. Technology changes and all. But all in all, I enjoyed getting these. I'll be adding these to the collection. Next, we have Justified, the 3rd season. Modern day Western. The first 2 seasons were kind of slow. I had heard from people that I work with that this was a fantastic show, and it's okay. It's not bad. But the first 2 seasons were kind of slow. This one was not. This was probably the best season of them so far. Instead of it just being one bad guy that he's kind of going back and forth with, he's got like 3 or 4 bad guys in this one, and they all have different grudges with him. They all intersect and interfere with each other. None of them agree with each other either, none of the villains. So it just made for a super interesting season. Worth checking out the show if you haven't seen it before. It is streaming on Hulu, along with the Justified City Primeval, which is the sequel series to this. But I haven't seen that yet. Like, I've obviously only gotten through the 3rd season of this show, but I'm enjoying it so far. So happy to be adding this. Next, we have The Conjuring. People said, oh, this is the scariest movie ever. It's a great movie. Should watch it. I do love the director, James Wan. He directed Fast and Furious 7, which was, it's not his cup of tea, but he still did a good job on it. Obviously, he's most famous for Saw and Insidious. I have not seen Insidious, so I can't really speak to whether or not that's a fantastic movie or not. But this movie to me was only average. It wasn't really scary. It was interesting. There was story. but it just wasn't scary to me. But I mean, you know, like you see some of these reviews on the back, one of the scariest movies ever made. No, I wouldn't go that far. But I mean, it's okay. You know, maybe the sequels are better, or the spin-offs like Annabelle's and The Nuns and the Curse of La Llorona or whatever it's called. But I mean, this one I was it's only average. Comment down below if you have a different take on that. I'd love to hear why people think this is like the scariest movie ever made. But yeah, you know, I'll be adding this to the collection. It's like I said, it wasn't bad. It just wasn't, you know, the scariest movie ever made. And then next was a movie that I was absolutely very happy to have watched and gotten in a mystery box, and that was Kick-Ass. This movie is not what I expected at all. You know, I guess when you see R, I should have expected something. But I was expecting, like, oh, it's kids, so it's not going to be very violent. The language isn't going to be that bad. If it is bad, it's going to be by the adults. Wrong. The language was by the kids. And then the violence, wow. You know, usually you're like superheroes were like, oh, you know, they don't, you know, it's not violence. They don't really do a lot of, you know, super violent things. They don't kill people. And then you just see Chloe Grace Moretz's character show up dressed as Hit Girl for the first time. She's like cutting people's arms off, stabbing them, shooting them. And she's like a little kid and doesn't bother her at all. So, I mean, it was out there, and it was very, very entertaining. You know, I'm going to have to try to find the second one and watch that one for sure. I heard it's not as good, but still, you know, this one just jumped up and surprised me. I absolutely loved this movie. If you have not seen this movie, you 100% need to check this out and add this to your collection for sure. But I mean, this was one of the best surprises of the year for me so far. I mean, comment down below if you've seen the second one, if the second one is worth checking out. But yeah, that does it for this video. If you like content like this, please like and subscribe. Your support is much appreciated. I'm also over on Letterboxd. The link is over in the profile of this channel. Also on Christmas here, probably actually tomorrow, I'll post a special Christmas video for you guys to watch this weekend while you're out celebrating with your families. But otherwise, yeah, till tomorrow.